Hello everyone, let's continue work on the auto database. We started yesterday and finished this initial access practice. During class yesterday, we already learned how to start the access from your program files. And we created two new tables. One is the table for the auto, and the other table is for the person, which is the owner. And more importantly, we add the linking between the auto table and the owners table. And then we created a brief report so we can see how the associated tables can give us convenience to pull data from your database. So for the remaining practice, we are going to add the other two tables. One is related to the dealer and the other one is about the service. And then we are going to add more relationships between the tables and then using the form to add more data into the table and then finally practice on performing the queries and more reports. So let's have a brief review. So take a look for the auto table we created. So the auto table, we have the primary key. Normally that's the first column. And then we have the other attributes. Then the owner table, we have the person ID as the primary key and also the other attributes. The auto table and the owner table is linked. So if you can see the personal ID is the linking field between the auto table and owner's table. This person ID is a foreign key under the auto table, but a primary key for the person table. So that's like we did it in the relationship. So I'm going to close these two and create two more tables. So when you try to create a new object, we always start from the create tab. You have table, query, this is a data search, firm to adding more data, and then the report. Okay, report is like a printable or a outcome, like so for our pulling the data from the database. So table, query, firm, or reports. So I'm going to build two new tables. So this one, I'm going to do the dealer. Okay, so the dealer, I will have so first I will change the ID again. So I will call dealer ID. Why is like this? So dealer ID, it doesn't matter either uppercase or lowercase, okay, but it's up to your preference. I prefer not using the space because if you have space, you got a problem later. Not really problem, but inconvenience later when you try to use the SQL code. And the second column, I will define it as a short text. So name of the dealer. Oh, so that's like reasonable. So third column is, and then the third column will be short text. I'm putting the address. Why when I do this is always, and then another short text for the phone. I'm going to change this. And if you want, you have other information. You can add other information for the dealer. Okay, but for our practice, I will just use these four columns. And remember, the ID, the primary key they are giving here is a auto number. I need to change that to a different data type, which will be the short text. So I'm going to do this, okay, using under. So I have this one. I need to change. Go to the home and view, design view. Okay, so and then I will name. So before I go to the other view, I need to call like the dealer, okay, the table name, and save, okay, give the name. And now for the dealer ID is already the primary key. Okay, and this one I'm going to change to a short text. Be careful about the data type because the primary key will be linked to another table. For the linking field, they must have the same data type. Text or numeric values must be consistent. So the name can be different, but the data type and the data value must be consistent so you can do the relationship later. Oh, so take another look. Okay, I have the dealer ID, name, address, and the phone. Now I can let you to see some of the fine tuning. Okay, if I want to have some fine tuning of the data type or the data format, I can perform on the design view. For example, my phone, I want to have a special format. So this one probably I can use a, so you can see in the bottom, like the format. And because now is a, so like maybe I can use as a, for example, like a number. And this format, I can use a, so the format you can see you have different numericals. I think because the phone, I remember you can change the format. Let's play with other. To calculate it, let me do the short text and input mark. There's nothing. But anyway, the thing, okay, must be saved. So that's fine. Oh, you can see now. Now it's coming, right? So the phone, for the phone, I can fine tuning the phone number as a, you can see the different format. Okay, you even have the social security format or zip code, or in different ways. So I'm going to choose a phone number format and next and finish. So when people input in the phones, I think let me double check. Save the phone number and I can just finish. Oh, so when we add the phone number later, they will automatically show as the format they chose. Okay, that's a fine tuning of the data field. And even also you can make it as a required. You can see now it's not required. If you want to change to a required, you got to put a yes, or you change the requirement to yes, and allow zero length and some other. Even you can have a validation rules. For example, if it's a dollar value like a sales revenue, I can require the sales revenue to be larger than zero in case people put a minus, right? So that's like some fine tuning we can do from here. And I'm going to change the phone to a not required, okay, to save our timing to input the data later. Okay. So that's my dealer. Okay, and I'm going to change to the datasheets view and save. Now I'm going to add a one row of data only. Okay, one row of data only. For this dealer, I will call D. So D001. Okay, you can follow mine or you can name, but be careful. Okay, because the the contents here, we are going to linking to the service data. Okay, remember what you put. So I have D001 and then Sterling. And address is not required. Okay, I just put it as like Southwest Freeway. Right. Something. And be careful, see the phone number. Okay, like, why I put it here is automatically showing the format, like, 713 313 000. But be careful. I need to 713. Yeah, let's just leave it as it. So one rows of data. Will later, once we finish the tables, I will teach you how to create the form so you can add more data into the tables. But so far, I'm done for my dealer table and one rows of data. So I'm going to close, okay, and save. So you can see you have 3 tables now. And finally, create the service. This service table is not covered in the book, but is I want to have it so we can have a, you can see a combo or combo primary key, so linking the dealer and the auto. Okay, so this is another table. And the first one, so I will call, so this one, the service. So I need the dealer ID. So first column will be a corresponding dealer ID. So because I'm looking for which car has been serviced by which dealer. Okay, it's a combination of the dealer and the car, the auto information. So dealer ID. And then the second one will be a short text referring to my auto ID. So the name, like the letter, can be different, but the contents will be corresponding to my information in the auto table. Okay, so auto ID. If I used, or maybe like this. And then I have a data of the, data of the service. I will choose a date. You can see you have a date and a time variable, and I will call service time. So service date. And charge, like how much charge, and the charge will be like the revenue made by the dealer, right? So I will choose a currency I call charge. And then finally, the owner, okay, like who or which is the owner ID or person ID. So this will refer to the owner of the car. Okay. I will keep this 5. Okay, so 5 columns or 5 attributes for the service table. Now again, I need to change this auto. Okay, so go back to the home and switch to the design view and the name. Service. Service is a activity, so it's an entity, but it's reflecting activities. And this one also need to change to a short text so we can match it to the dealer ID in the dealer table. Okay, both need to be. I think you can make, in this case, even only one primary key here, but later when we learn the concept, actually for this table, we need to use both the dealer ID and auto ID as the combo primary key, because these 2 keys will define a unique value we put input. Because if you only use the dealer ID or the auto ID, it won't be unique. okay, for each of the rows. So to be a unique value, we call combo primary key. And let me see, I can make like both as keys here. Or I can do this, just highlight these two columns, two rows, two field. I did this before, but don't worry. Okay, even you couldn't put both key, like two keys in front of the column, the table will work fine. And in concept, we know they are combo. Okay, let me try. Can I put both keys? Yeah, and highlight these two rows and the primary key, and then one more time. Or is only go to the first one, but that's fine. Okay, just leave it as it is. But the concept, we need both. Okay, dealer ID will link this to the dealer table, and then the auto ID will link to the auto table. Even the person ID, we can link to the person table, so you can see the relationships. And now I'm going to switch back to the datasheet view and add one more rows and one rows of data. Okay, dealer ID, you remember we have the D. Make sure you have the value match 001. And the auto ID, I will do the A. 001. Oh, sorry, 1. And the service date, okay, just made up. For example, like yesterday, like October. Oh, actually, it's a calendar. You can choose. Okay, you can see rather than input. Okay, so it's coming as a calendar choice. And the charge, I will put 500. You can see the dollar sign is already assigned. And you even can change the decimal values. Okay, how many decimal points you want to show over here. If it's a numerical value, you can perform calculations. Okay, like all with the other fields. And the person ID, I will put 001. And later, you even can make the personal ID as a drop-down menu. You can choose. Okay, so in case people to prevent errors or mistakes on inputting the values. Okay, it's a pre-established ID list. We can choose the honors. So I think this is only one row of the data. And now let's close and save. So 4 tables and 1 rows of data for each of them. Okay, now let's get in the relationship. So go to the database tool. Relationships, right? So remember these are the 2 tables we did yesterday. Now I'm trying to bring the other 2 tables. Now you can see not here, right? So I will do database tools and adding. Oh, show tables. Okay, so if you don't see the table options, right click on the canvas. Okay, show tables. So you will see all of the tables since we already have the auto and owner. Okay, I'm just bring the dealer in and bring the service table in. And I will actually move the service because this one will be in the middle of the auto and the dealer. So the service, so first the service. So service with the dealer, you can see I will do this. Okay, so highlight. Okay, just the highlight. So linking these 2 dealer IDs, so highlight one of them, any one of them, and drag it over the other dealer ID and the link. Or this one will just put like this is 1-to-1. And now the auto ID will link to the auto table. right? So let me just, so you can see, I can starting from here and drag and drop to the other. Do not inverse, okay, just create. And finally, you can, if you want, you can link the personal ID, okay, the honor table and the service by the person. And this one is a one-to-many. They can detect, okay, because one owner can require or can put a car into multiple services to the dealer. But for each service we have one dealer, one-to-one, and one auto. Okay, each time, okay, each service, this is a one-to-one. And after this, I think we are done on. I can put it here. Okay, to let it look more better. Okay, so close that and save. So make sure you save the relationships. So if you don't really see from the front, but the relationship got updated.